the feeling to know that you've created the painkiller for the film industry? I mean, come on, that is awesome.
CineD, your digital cinema tech resource, supported by B&H and CVP.
Welcome everybody to this CineD interview video. This is a special one for me because we were contacted by producer maker Machina, the people behind a new online software tool that is trying to unify the whole process of a commercial production from start to post-production to finish and delivery, and kind of unifying all the tools that production companies have been using up until now for this process and putting it all into one online tool. Now, we thought we're probably not the right ones to review something like this, which is why I asked my friend Christoph Tilly from MXR Productions, one of the biggest and leading commercial production companies in Austria, to take a look as well. And this is why I invited both Christoph and Xaver. Xaver is from producer Maker Machina, to be on this call, to have a little introductory call. And the way we're going to do this is like the first call. This is the first time that Christoph will see the software, that he will actually be exposed to this. He can give his unfiltered comments and he will try and use it for an actual productions over the next few weeks. And then we'll touch base with him again and just see how it goes. Welcome, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, thank you very much, Nino. That was an amazing introduction.
Of course. Xaver, before we dive in, maybe you can say a little bit about where you're coming from with, like, how did you end up, because I know you're a filmmaker too, right? But how did you end up making a tool like this?
Yeah, so I always was wondering about, is there not a better way of producing the content? And it was actually through a commercial shoot that I was doing for the watch brand IWC. And the CEO from the company, that was at the time Mr. George Karen, he asked me, is there a way of organizing all watch brands content all from one place? That's when I said, no, I don't know. I've been searching for something like that my whole life. And not finding something, I realized there's lots of great point-to-point solutions, but not one tool that has everything in one place. That's when I started on the journey and started to find someone. Our paths actually split. George went on and he started Breitling, actually. But I kept on this mission to search for a CTO, because I realized that it would be probably through technology that we will have to get this right. And then actually, together with my partner, Paul-Emile Jossel, we started building a prototype of it. And I thought it may be kind of a website, but he realized that it has to be like a software. That's what we, actually a software as a service, we started building it. And because we had our own production company, we always tested it in the field. We always tried it out. We spoke to producers in the field. We spoke to many filmmakers all over. And eventually we had something, let's say a minimum viable product. And that's how it started. That's the start of Producer. And we called it Producer because it's actually the closest tool to that, or the closest person that will work with it is a line producer. But there's so many forms of producing, and yeah, that's the quick start from Producer.
Very cool. Before we dive right in, I also want to give Christoph a chance to talk a little bit about himself and his production company and where he came from and where they're now.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Great opportunity, because I see myself as a filmmaker with a very strong passion for cool tools. It could mean camera tools, but also tools for production, like any web-based service that makes our life as a production company a little easier. So yes, I'm super excited to have this here. As Nino already said, where I founded one of the leading production companies in Austria. I'm very, very lucky to be able to do what I love, which is shooting stuff, mostly commercials. So yeah. This is what I am, this is what I do, this is what I love. Thanks for having me.
Great. Should we start right off, guys? I mean, Xaver, do you want to share your screen? And I hope you're recording it as well, so we can actually show the audience what we're talking about here.
Okay, so basically we took a visual approach on, because as creators, I think we're all functioning better when it's closer to our profession. So when you click on one of these pictures, it actually opens up the whole production process. So the goal is really that it is one place for collaboration, one place for communication, that it's centralized, that you have everything at one, that all your assets at one location. Now, we're a startup. Basically, so we launched it in April at Las Vegas. Actually, there we won Product of the Year, which was a big boost for us. And through Microsoft, which we actually work together, which is on Azure, so all the data gets saved on the Azure servers. They really helped us in Las Vegas, and we really gave us a place there, booth, and there that really helped us also going forward. To show that our stuff is safe. It's, so I would say, the better evil, where we are saving the things, and it is really it helps us really secure the data properly. If I click on a picture, I think this is a process that we are all familiar with, from development to pre-production, production, post-production, delivery. You can actually do anything in the world, regardless if it's a 30-second commercial or if it's something episodical. I think what is, for me, was important is that I also have all my contacts here. So basically, so Christoph, I just have to interrupt me whenever you have something, but so you import all your contacts. So if you click on contacts, you can actually bring all your contacts into Producer by just pressing importing from an Excel document. And then basically by clicking on a picture, so I'll just click on mine here, you can actually add some additional information here. In the next few months, we will also bring in the profile, so you can actually view all the content from that director. You can actually see their references, their videos, so that you can actually do your casting all from one location. So that's really important. You can bring your gaffers in there, your makeup artists, your actors, your anybody can be a part of it. If you have a good brief, you have a good chance to actually make a good film. So briefing is often we are being held accountable that the film is not exactly what they expected, but then somehow the briefing has been done not so well. So we are actually in the moment developing a very comprehensive briefing structure together that we developed with an agency. It's in development. So right now it's a placeholder, so you can upload the briefing. You can always refer back to the briefing. You can comment on the briefing so that everybody can always stay, that it's centralized, all the communication. Again, that you can go back to the briefing from the beginning. Right now, we're using this as a overview, so you can really add in all your deadlines. When is the project have to be finished? And it's great to keep an overview. If you want to bring in other people onto the project, you can just click here, invite collaborators. So you just bring collaborators in, and it's really set up that it's unlimited collaborators. So, for example, a makeup artist, maybe they don't have to actually edit on the tool, but they still need to be informed what happens when. So we don't charge for that, but we do charge for creators. So the director, the line producer, the people who's actually doing the physical work on here. So then, if you want to choose your producer, you can choose it just from your contact list, so you can take it from there. You can also add a new producer if you want to there. And then the idea is that it actually appears here. So we see that's your most important jobs: the producer, your director, your line producer. Those people are the ones that you would like to know. Everybody should know about it, and it should be prominent up there. You can create a mood board. You can add all your moods in here, but often where we start as filmmakers is, or especially in the commercial sector, is storyboard. Where we take pictures from the internet, you drag and drop it in here. Once it's in here, you can move it around. You can even take it off shot deck or wherever you want to do it. I mean, nowadays you can generate the pictures, and once it's in here, you just move it around to help you actually tell your story. The storyboard really connects every aspect of it, so you can connect it to a shooting day. So by just adding a shooting day, and then by connecting each shot to a shooting day, is basically you're starting to organize the whole production process. So I will just add a shooting day here. So same for you can add additional information. So your cameraman, your DOP can add like the shot angle, the camera movement, shot size, the lenses, what lenses will I be using, and all of this information. Once you've populated here, you are automatically creating the shot list. You're automatically doing the scheduling already. You can connect it to a location. So just add your locations to Producer, and locations are available inside Storyboard. Characters, you can create a character, and those characters again will be available inside Storyboard. So really it serves to be that everything is together at one place. And because you've done this, your shot list is basically ready. Yeah, you just need to make sure your DOP say, oh no, these shots has to be together, and I would like to shoot that first, and you just drag and drop it until it's right. You can always set your time to say how long each shot will take, and by submitting it, it automatically calculates the hours for you, and it automatically calculates all your hours, so that you always know exactly how long each section will take. Your light producer can parallel start working and organizing the schedule. So maybe they should set up first before they have a coffee. And everything is then you can pre-organize it and make sure that all the additional information, that each shot is connected to a location, that each shot has got a character attached to that. And the same for the location. So basically, like I said, you can do your location scouting. Oops, so location is now here. Sorry, I will just use another example. So on location, you can upload the locations. On casting, you can upload your cast. You can actually vote on here. So if you double click on here, you can actually go to the characters. You can choose which character will be for that specific role. So you can just choose the specific one, and that will actually appear as a character inside. And again, everything is connected to storyboard. Same for if you finish this, your call sheet is actually ready. So it takes the weather for the day, the closest police station, closest hospital, your production company, your call time you can set. You can set for your executive team is automatically already inside the application. Crew is already there, or you can take it from your contact list. Or if you work with a standard crew, you can just always bring the same people back in here, and then your schedule is ready. Yeah, that's already here, and you can always export it as a PDF if you still would like to use it, like say like what we are used to. Of course, we don't encourage people to just print paper again, because because when something change, I would just print it right at the last moment. And so each shooting day is ready for you just by clicking on it. You just have to go over it, make sure all the data is there and correct. We're working on dailies also right now, where you can actually upload your dailies also in here. So again, we're trying to put all the data at one location. When that is done, you can do your editing, and once your edit is done, you can upload your first rough cut. Yeah, your first rough cut is then available inside the application. You can add multiple films in here if you have many more versions of one film. And then this is the actual film. So you can the film you can just share it with the client. You can do communication here, so that again that all communication are centralized. Inside here, you can actually compare it to two different versions. So if you have two versions, you can actually compare it. All the comments are underneath of that specific version. You can play it together, and you can actually see the film parallel, and you can actually see what changes is actually came to that project. And so we clearly mark also the versions to say like it's first rough cut, the first correction, second correction, picture lock, sound mixing, color grading, final film. It's really also to keep that it just doesn't go on and on the edit, and that they say we have two versions of the edit, and you don't add another version to it. You can always do a correction. You can always do another correction, but of course we have to make sure that the production companies gets paid. And that is very important for us, that we care also for the film productions. That's also why we're working together with in Switzerland. Is where we're actually protecting the companies also with pitching. We trying to bring also a standard through the tool that really helping the production companies, that they're not just endless corrections, that there's also not just endless production companies gets invited to pitch and kind of being abused in a way. So we really care for the production companies, because we are filmmakers ourselves. We really understand what it's like to not get a contract, to always being asked to do another correction. Then your final deliverables, you can do it directly from here. So you can just click on the assets. You can share more than one. You can just click on it and share it with somebody. You can also share the entire page with him, and it's just so you can transfer all the files directly through the application. Ownership rights, that you upload the ownership rights so that you can be alerted well ahead of time when your music rights runs out, when your actors agreements run out, and really that everything of that project is at one place, and not just this project, but basically every project that you're working on. By just clicking on the picture, that it can take you back to to any step from a project that you've been working on?
Looks good. Very interesting. It's the first time I see this. Of course, I knew we're going to have a little presentation today, and I deliberately I didn't look at it before because I wanted to see it from you, like getting your first-hand experience. And I think seeing this as the first time gives me the impression this fills in a gap. We use so many different tools to fill that gap in, but it was so hard to get everybody on the same page and having everything at the same place. Looks very promising to me. Because, like, for instance, having these shooting boards, first AD doing all these shooting boards. Some do it in Excel, some do it in Google Sheets. Some do it online, some do it offline. So collaborating together with the first AD on a shooting board, having the producer on board, having the DP on board, is something that looks super interesting to my eyes.
Thank you very much. I feel your pain also. We had also so many different tools that we've been using, and to have everything at one place, I cannot imagine any other way of working anymore. So yeah. Of course, this is a starting point for us. We have so much more that we want to bring to the tool, but we're already getting crazy good feedback from filmmakers all around the world. We already have close to 4,000 people on the application, giving us constant feedback, giving us ways to improve it, making it better. And we know the sky is the limit of things that we can bring, and we have a really big dream. But already it's fulfilling a lot of issues. It solves it for us.
Yes, I think like talking more about this, about our pain points I experienced in the past, which I think tools like this or your tool could solve in the past, was like, I feel that commercial movie production in any scale, like from small to medium to also the large productions, is so much footwork, right? Like calling people, like, okay, I'm not even talking about the pitching phase. Like, let's say we skip the pitch phase. The production company already has we won the pitch and we have to produce it now. So from this moment on, of course, you will pitch with the director, so that you have the director. But apart from the director, most of the people working on the project have to be called, right? So the director gives you a list of some DPs. So the producer or line producer or executive producer, whoever, starts calling these people. But then one DP kind of like, at some point, eventually, the one DP gets the job. That DP gives you a list of some gaffers. You call all the gaffers. The gaffers give you a list of, some gaffers give you a list of all the electricians and grip guys or whatever. You call all them. So basically, from that point on, when you win the pitch, it's like being on the phone all the time. So if something changes, the shooting day changes, whatever, the client postpones, someone gets sick, cast, whatever, everybody's on the phone again. When we started producing TV commercials in the past, I saw a room full of people being on the phone all the time. And I was thinking to myself, there must be a better way, right? It couldn't be like this linear way of producing, calling someone. Do you have time on this day? Oh, hey, it's me again. The shooting day changed. Another one, calling another guy. So basically, I felt like a production is a call center. And I thought to myself, there must be a better way, right? Like a non-linear way of managing crew, managing production workflows. So this tool shows me that there is a better way.
Thank you very much. It's exactly the point. For me, a place where I wasted the most money, I would say, in our production company is in casting, because casting is, by the time you find the right person, then the budget change, then the dates change, or there's some misalignment about something, and then we start all over the process again. Yes. So I think casting was for us always so complicated. And that's really one thing that we would love to resolve with producer. And we're on this mission to resolve it, and really so that you set the stage, you give them the right tools. So how much money do they have? What is this actual dates? Exactly. And exactly what are we looking to? And if you are fitting that profile, upload your casting video here and share it with us, and the agency, everybody can vote, finish, and you get the job and it's done. Yeah. and not this back and forth. I feel you with the calling all the time. This is so frustrating.
I mean, it starts with the calling, but then it goes on and on and on, right? So basically, next step would be you bring in, either you have an internal unit manager, or you bring in a unit manager, and what he does the call sheet. And I saw it so many times that they go to Google Maps, screenshot their location, use that screenshot, pull it into Google Sheets or somewhere, put in the call sheet, and send out PDFs that are like 30 megabytes and try to send 30 megabytes call sheets to everyone per email. If it goes through, people would have a hard time downloading the call sheet on their phone, because the unit managers, of course, they don't know how to compress a screenshot. They don't know how to compress a PDF. How would they? They are not IT specialists. They are unit managers. So, and also, like, why? There's Google Maps, right? There's an API to Google Maps. So it must be so easy to have a tool where you just put in, this is my shooting date, this is where I'm going to be, this is the location. So make the call sheet for me in the design of the production company, with the logo of the client, with the logo of the production company, and send it to everybody who's on the call sheet. Like these tools, they're all there. Why do I have people like doing all the footwork, spending hours and hours and hours on the pay sheet of the production company, if it could have been so much easier?
I mean, we definitely tried also third-party tools. Trying to with like a kind of to-do list tools, and it's difficult because you have to set up the whole production process. So nobody gives you the production process; you have to create it here. And I think it's probably okay if you're just for your own production company and you're creating it. But when you're working globally, when you need to scale, when you have, say, multiple studios around the world, this becomes really complicated, because everybody kind of, let's say, work a little bit in a different way, and then to find a unified way to so that everybody sticks to brand values, that everybody sticks to what the client actually wanted, that becomes really hard. So I agree with you. How difficult can it be? But still somehow we can't get it right. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to fix with producers, basically bringing a more simple way. And again, don't make it's not your job to know how to transcode the video. The tool should know this information for you. It's not your job to know that the PDF should be small. The tool does it for you. You focus on being creative. Yeah. That's the goal, what we're trying to do here, and make it easy for you to manage a production.
But I think it's kind of obvious that these tools, that you guys working on this tool, and it's coming right now, it's kind of gives me the feeling that the paradigm change of how the whole industry works is obvious, because I think that in the past, as executive producer, they didn't care too much about what tools their unit managers use, what tools their line producers use. But like what I feel is like, as a production company, doing more and more creative work, having much more need of own branding, of own kind of their own workflows for the client, because the client's shifting so much from a classic client to like wanting so much more from the production company than in the past, gives me the understanding that these tools will be much more important in the future than they were in the past. Because in the past, as executive producer, it was only very important from my perspective that you have a very good networking relationship with the client. But right now, as a producer, you should have to be so much more on top of things than in the past. So I think a lot of producers will benefit from this tool.
Well, I think in general, what we can see is that like these digital tools, somehow we always talk about more modern cameras, digital cameras, and the whole production side of a film is now already digitized. But the way everything on a set and in pre and post production works is still very much the same, like what it was 100 years ago, basically. Like we use clapperboards, we use manual sheets, and handwriting and stuff. And I think there has been a very big hesitancy in the industry to actually streamline processes, and this is only happening now because now finally it's doable. I mean, the camera can talk to a call sheet. I mean, it can talk to whatever, like a storyboard. You could theoretically start the edit on set, which is also something that is still rare. It's starting now, and it's something that's so logical, but it's I think the processes were not there. And like what you both mentioned before, there are tools out there. There's a million tools out there, but the problem, in my opinion, is that most of these tools are not made for our industry. Our industry is really a tiny niche, and it's completely irrelevant to the Googles and Apples and even the Asanas and, I don't know, Salesforces of the world. But that's why something like this is really important, because you can bring the client, you can bring the agency, you can bring the production company, all the actors and all the crew on the same page by giving them a login basically and just exposing them to the same thing. And when you turn one screw on one side, the rest also changes, like in a machine, where that didn't used to be the case, because all the calls you were talking about, Christoph, I know this also from my production where it's crazy. I mean, it's like you have line producers just on the phone 24/7, and there's still a lot of information that doesn't come from A to B to Z simply because, somebody, it's like Chinese whispers, the information changes. So I think it's really important to have a centralized tool like that. And we had individual aspects of those things that were digitized more and more over the last few years. Just think about, tools like Frame.io, which makes the whole feedback process simpler. I mean, what excites me about Producer Maker Machina, what I saw is that you incorporate this, you have the whole functionality there, but you do so much more around this, which already starts at the very beginning. And, it's not just one slice of the whole pie. It's trying to do everything, which is of course hard, but I think there are, I have high hopes for something like this to really become mainstream in our filmmaking world.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to add something there. I think what you also touched on, Christoph, is the fact that as an executive, we are forced nowadays to be more efficient, to be more careful our bottom line. And therefore, we're wasting a lot of times on different tools that we have to recreate aspects. And because there's so much competition out there, we need to optimize the workflow properly and have a plan. And I think all executives has that same issue now, and that's why they're trying to optimize it via AI tools and via whatever way they can to help them meet their bottom line.
Yeah, I think that's actually very critical, because it's not enough anymore to be good with the client, to have a good relationship with the creative agency, to be inside the cost. You have to have more efficient workflows, and I think. Efficiency, there is, like Nino just said, there's such a big gap, because a producer, we have the nicest tools, we have the nicest lenses, we have the nicest cameras, but production workflow hasn't changed at all. It's like still calling people. And I think this could change, right? Because sending out an email like in a linear way, when A and B talk to each other and C doesn't know what A and B talk, what if B gets sick, or if B is not available anymore? A has to tell C the whole project again. Like, they have to brief them again. So I think it's very, very important to have a hub where all the information is stored. A, B, C, D, E, F, G can have a look at, and everybody's on the same page. And this makes so much sense.
Awesome.
So guys, should we actually talk about what we will do from here on out? I think the idea was that Christoph will actually use Producer Maker Machina for a production or several productions, I don't know, over the next few weeks, and then we touch base again.
Yeah, I can give you a quick run of what we do right now, and what we will use Producer for when we test it, right? So until this point, we use Notion. This was our go-to kind of collaboration tool, where we planned all the pre-production and all the production workflows. But the thing with Notion is nice because you can design your own workflows. But the thing that's lacking in Notion is kind of a clear structure. And as you said, Nino, Notion is a general tool. It's not made for filmmakers. So what I see with Producer is that it helps streamline the process in a way we can use it for our productions without anybody deleting anything, deleting metadata, deleting any, schedule, whatever, because Notion is just such a soft tool. Something always can happen, and it's not as efficient as something would be that's really streamlined to our process. So we are very, very happy to use Producer for an upcoming shoot. So this is what we want to do. and give you our honest feedback how we used it, what we found nicely, and what could be improved.
And Christoph, that will be amazing to do the producer experience, basically push it through the dirt, and we will be there for you. Like if there's anything, any help, if you guys need any help from a demo side or anything, we will be gladly be there to help your team.
I'm right now. I was sitting together with my AD doing shooting schedule, and when I saw you demoing how you easily change the shooting schedule, I got a little jealous, because what we did is like we pushed around some rows in Google Sheet, and we kind of messed up the whole structure, and everything was like screwed up. So we had to start again. So I'm very much looking forward to the experience working with your tool.
Oh, that feels good. Yeah, no, I'm sure you're gonna love that part.
Awesome, guys. Then maybe we should touch base again in a couple of weeks, see how Christoph process is going. In the meantime, I think everybody who wants and who is interested can try Producer Maker Machina, right, Xaver?
Yes, absolutely. Try it for free. Yeah, just go on to the-producer.io and and try it. Yeah, and challenge us and come with feedback and put it through the ropes. Yeah, we would be glad to have you guys trying it.
You know, that's the cool thing about this tool, is that you have actually people to talk to, and they seem to take this feedback really seriously. I mean, when I looked at the first few things, I said, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? I was like, oh yeah, actually it's on the roadmap, but oh, this is a good idea. Let's, it's also different from the big tools where you probably only talk to a chatbot when you give feedback. So that's really nice to hear.
And we are filmmakers. We live and breathe filmmaking so this is what we would do. And we get our kick by speaking to filmmakers, seeing them create something amazing. And so that's why we're dedicated to be there for each other. Yeah? Because the feeling to know that you've created the painkiller for the film industry, I mean, come on, that is awesome. So that's what we strive for.
Yeah, nice. That's a good mission.
Maybe that should be the subline, though. The Producer Maker Machina, painkiller for the film industry. That's, sums it up. All right, guys, and thank you very much for today. We'll touch base in the same constellation a couple weeks and see if Christoph drowned, or if he's cursing Xaver, or if he's like super excited. Let's see. Let's see in a couple weeks and see how it went.
Thank you so much. I'm excited.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for more, and also subscribe to see that follow-up video in a couple of weeks. Bye guys.